morning, everyone. How are you? Hope you're having a good morning so far. It's been hot here, but we're having a good week. Yeah, we've got some people on this morning, so I'm excited. Let's say hi to a few people. We've got Emily on. Good smoky air morning from Oxford. Oh, yes, I heard you guys are having smoke from, isn't it Canada? Not where the fire is coming down. Abby, my daughter, is, and her family, they're in the Wisconsin Dells. And last night I was talking to her on the phone and she said, I think it's going to rain. It looks so hazy out here. And then she said, wait, I think it's smoke. And I said, well, I think it's, there are fires in Canada. I'm assuming that, it's getting that. And I think we're supposed to get it here even. A little bit, not as bad as you guys, I'm sure, but that's crazy. Crazy. Fires in Canada. Anyway, so they're in the middle of it too, the haze. Karen says, good morning. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Sarah's on. Good morning, Sarah. How are you? Hi, Colleen. Good morning. Carrie's on. Good morning, Carrie. Teresa's on. Good morning, Teresa. Maureen. Good morning, Maureen. Claudia. Good morning, Claudia. Hope all of you are doing well. Connie's on. Good morning, Connie. How are you? Oh, Colleen says Canada and Minnesota fires. I didn't realize there were fires in Minnesota as well. Wow. It must really be bad. Yeah, we've got an air quality index alert. So we're supposed to get some of it too. It's crazy how far it can come down. But anyway, stay indoors maybe. I don't know. It can't be good for you. Abby and her family, they're coming home today. So I told her not to bring any of it with her. But yeah, we're supposed to get it, like I said. So I don't think it's going to be that bad, but we're supposed to get some. All right. So today we are on day 280 of our book that we love, our 365 Truths for Every Woman's Heart. And today it is Your Desires Matter. Your desires matter. And our just to jot for today is what is a desire of your heart? This was very interesting when I read it. I had a few things pop into my head that I really hadn't thought about before. But we'll see. We'll see what we get into. So again, our just to jot is what is a desire of your heart? So let's get into it. When the Queen of Sheba saw all the wisdom of Solomon and the palace he had built, the food on his table, the seating of his officials, the attending servants in their robes, his cupbearers, and the burnt offerings he made at the temple of the Lord, she was overwhelmed. 1 Kings 10, 4-5. The Queen of Sheba could have turned back at this moment when she was overwhelmed, but the desire of her heart for wisdom prevailed, and she came to Solomon and talked with him about all that she had on her mind, and he answered all her questions. The Queen of Sheba shows us where to identify what we want, and when it aligns with God's will, to audaciously go for it. Jesus said, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. When we do so, we are creating an opportunity for God to use us to bless others too. King Solomon gave the Queen of Sheba all she desired and asked for. Besides what he had given her out of his royal bounty. Then she left and returned with her retinue to her own country. When the queen went home, she didn't go empty-handed. She brought lavish gifts from Solomon. wisdom that would help her rule well, and a new faith in the one true God. All of those benefited her people. God is inviting us to enjoy our full God is inviting us to enjoy our fill of his abundant goodness. And as the Queen of Sheba found, we will have plenty to share with others too. What do you guys think? That was so interesting to me. And when I did a little bit of research on that, as I try to do, first of all, I learned that this is another area where they aren't sure who wrote Kings. So that's always interesting to me when they don't know who wrote it. But of course, it's so important that it was included in the Bible, even though they don't know who wrote it. But the passage is much deeper than simply describing a wealthy king. It reveals what genuine God-given wisdom looks like when it's lived out. And that's what the Queen of Sheba was seeing, that this is how, what am I trying to say? This is how that God-given wisdom that he prayed for, this is how he's honoring God, I guess, is what I thought about this. She noticed everything. She noticed his palace, the food on his table, the organization of everything, the excellence of his servants, the way they were dressed, the order of his household, how he worshiped at the temple, everything. And everything he did honored God. And even to the point of keeping his palace neat and organized. I think as believers, people should see our faith in more than what we do, than what we say. And I know that Pastor Thomas talked about that as well. And it's, how we treat people, how we manage our homes, how we work, how we serve, how we worship, all that stuff. People should notice in us. Oh, Maureen says, to readily share wisdom and also have the courage to ask. Yes. Yeah, we have to share that wisdom, but we have to have the courage to ask. You're exactly right. Anybody else have any thoughts? I also had no idea what, I always have to think about how to say it because I have never heard this word before, a retinue was. So I had to look that up. And that's where our word entourage came from. Who knew? So it was like when she returned with her retinue to her own country, her entourage. So I'm sure the Queen of Sheba had a big entourage. I don't know. Seems like it. Seems like she should. Anyway. New word for us today. But what I got out of that was the Queen of Sheba wasn't just impressed by his wealth. Like, oh, look at the wealth God gave him. She was impressed by the order of his palace, the excellence that he showed, his preparation and everything. Again, the way he worshiped. I think all that was so important, and that's why she asked the questions she did, and took all that information back to her and her palace and her people. And I think, again, it proves that the greatest testimony of Solomon's kingdom wasn't the palace. It was that everything ultimately pointed toward the Lord. So Oh, somebody said, oh, Dave Donnelly. Good morning, Dave. How are you? But I think, Solomon sharing that with her gave her what she needed. And she took all that back. And then God blessed her. And she, I'm sure, used what she learned to rule as well. And I think God deserves our best. I don't have a palace, but he deserves my best. So I think whoever wrote this wants us to see that serving God affected every detail of what was his name? Solomon's life. Every detail. He took care of everything in his palace and his people, his servants. He took care of everything. And everything was a thank you, I guess, to God for all that he was given. And I think, what I started thinking about was, this doesn't mean that Christians have to have the palace or the fancy clothes, but it means that everything we do, we honor God by serving with excellence. We do it well. And whether we're in church or doing this Bible study or with people or working or at the store, we do whatever we set out to do, we do it well. And that's honoring God, I feel like. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any thoughts? When I was looking this up, it also said that in Matthew 5:16, Matthew says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." So that's kind of the same thing. It's saying, you know, let men see your good works, see the excellence that you do. We're trying to grow our church, as you guys know. And I also, when I was reading this, I was thinking of, because I've always got, what can we do to grow the church? And, what should we do now? Or what program should we think about? Or what, should we do in the community? And I think that we just have to do things well, which Pastor Thomas said that too. He's so smart. But, when people come in, visitors to our church, they notice the sermon, of course, but they also notice, do we say hi? Are they welcomed? Are we happy? Do we do things well? Are we organized? Do we care about each other? Do we feel like a church family? Does everything we do honor God and point to Jesus? So I think the goal isn't just, perfection and impressing those people. It's letting people see God's presence and feeling it and seeing our wisdom through our faith and love and our excellent service. And that's going to make them come back. And that's going to have them share and bring more people in. And that's going to grow our church. What do you guys think? That makes sense? I don't know. That was great, Christy. I love that you researched it. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. So this is good for me. I love it. So anyway, what do you guys think? Any thoughts? I love it when you guys are interactive. I just think that, our desires matter because, God's going to help us with things that we pray for. But we have to hold our end of the deal up too, I guess. And, do things well, take care of what we're given. All right. All right. Our Just to Jot, what it is a desire of your heart. Okay. Well, you guys have a great day. Our prayer for today. Oh, Maureen says, if our desires align with God. Absolutely. That's very important. Very important. Thank you. That is. Our desires have to align with God and what he wants, what he's thinking, for sure. For sure. Our prayer for today, God, help me boldly pursue the desires you have put in my heart. Amen. So let's do that. Let's pursue our desires. Let's live in excellence. Let's honor God with our house and our 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 faithfulness, the way we treat people. Let's honor God in all those ways. All right. Be safe out there in the smoke. And you guys have, actually, I think I see you tomorrow. Yes, I think it's this week. I need to double check on that. I think I see you tomorrow. I'll double check on that. I think this was the week that Olivia was traveling. Yes, so I think it's me tomorrow. So if I don't see you tomorrow, have a great week. But I'm 99% sure now that I say that I have tomorrow. Anyway, have a great day. I believe I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, stay safe. Be the hands and feet of Jesus. Bye, everyone.